Good morning, everyone. Once again, we're about to begin. I am Jenna, a visiting fellow at the Sasakawa Peace Foundation, and I am your host today for the keynote address by His Excellency Moetai Brotherson, President of French Polynesia, on this Day 7 of the Pacific Island Nations Week. Excellency, please proceed to deliver your keynote address.
Your Honor, everyone, I'm very honored to stand here upon the invitation of the Sasakawa Foundation, especially in the context of the 10th Palm Summit that is taking place here in Tokyo. I find it very inspiring that Japan has a special holiday for the ocean. I think that this is something that every country in the world could draw inspiration from. We are all Niue, Cook Islands, Tonga, all of us Pacific Island nations. We are often told that we are small island nations, and then we reply that we are big ocean nations. In my country, Maui Nui, French Polynesia, we have 118 islands, 84 of them being atolls at sea level. This country is as large as Western Europe. When you go from north to south, it's as if you were going from Stockholm to Sicily. When you go from east to west, you are taking a trip from Romania to Portugal. That's the size of my country. And as far as history goes back, in our traditions, in our chants, in our legends, there is not the ocean on one side and us on the other side. We are part of the ocean, and it's part of us. Sustainable development is key to all of us Pacific Island nations. We know the pressure that economic development, which is necessary for our people, puts on nature and especially on the ocean. Agriculture, industry puts pressure on the ocean. Fisheries, if not done in a sustainable way, puts an immense pressure on the ocean. In my country, we have decided a long time ago to go the way of sustainable fishing. We only have longliners, we don't have signers. We don't issue fishing permits. We have only Tahitian vessels fishing in Tahitian seas, which gives us the international label of sustainable fishing, and it's very important to us. We also try to blend modern-day techniques of administering resources with our ancestral traditions, such as what we call rahui, which is our marine form of administering, timing, zoning, such as to protect those resources in the ocean and the lagoons. So if you go in islands such as Rapa, Huahine, Moorea, we have established zones where you can only fish such species of fish at a such specific period of time in the year. This in an attempt to preserve the resources, and it's proven very efficient so far. We share the same ocean as Japan does, the Pacific Ocean. It's called Pacific for a reason, but it can also from time to time remind us that we should stay humble in the face of nature. Ocean and peace are also linked because they are both precious. And we commend the efforts made by the Sasakawa Foundation to work on both issues in the time. Last year in November, my vice president took a trip to Japan to commemorate the events at Hiroshima. That's also a part of the history that we share with Japan. And she brought with her 1,000 origami flowers that were made by our young people back in Tahiti. And they were so honored to have been working on those origamis. So this is also something that links us to Japan and to that very precious piece that we all cherish. As Pacific Islanders, the ocean does not divide us. It's the very essence of what links us. Our ancestors were navigating this mighty ocean long before in Europe they dared to venture away from the coastal lines. So to us, education of youth about the preservation of the ocean is something that we cherish. In our schools, we have started a few years ago a program that brings the pupils out of the classrooms on the field to appreciate nature, to see the fishes for themselves, to learn about the way our ancients navigated the oceans, only reading the stars, tasting the sea, looking at the birds, and studying the currents. This is not a way to be nostalgic about something that doesn't exist anymore. This is our duty to remind the world that this ancient traditional knowledge is something that we have to share with the rest of the world, because if it made sense back then, it makes even more sense today. What these people that were living without Facebook, without all the modern technology, learned about nature is something that we should never forget. So for all these reasons, I'm very, very honored to be here. And I'm grateful that such foundation as the Sasakawa Foundation is here to help us all establish cooperation on such subjects as youth education, resource preservation, and of course, the maintaining of peace. Thank you. Te aro whai rai.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Please take a seat on stage right. We will now move on to a conversation between Atsushi Tsunami, President of the Sasakawa Peace Foundation, and His Excellency Moetai Brotherson, President of French Polynesia. Now, President Tsunami, please proceed.
Earlier, the Honorable President Brotherson, I was reading his profile, and I was surprised to see that you were in Japan and on a business trip. When did you come over to Japan?
Actually, a few years ago, I was living a very different life. I'm a computer scientist by trade. And at the time, I was living in New York. And we were working on the first online websites using smartphones that didn't exist yet. So the company I was working for sent me here on a few business trips to work with NTT Docomo and Toshiba to help them build the first online web shops. So that's when I discovered the beauty of sushi.
I see. I hope you can eat as much sushi as possible this time. And as a computer engineer, you came over, and that's what you told me just now. But this traditional knowledge is going to become very meaningful, important globally. And in order to spread that traditional knowledge, ITC and IT's technology is very important. President, is there any effort in terms of telecommunication to spread your traditional knowledge to the world?
This is definitely something that I could talk for hours, blending both passions of mine, which are our culture and tradition, and new technologies. We are welcoming Google this year. They are coming to Tahiti to lay out 5 submarine cables that will increase our international bandwidth by 50 times. So this is going to be a major step forward for our digital economy, but it's also a way for us to capitalize on new technologies, to spread education, and to share those traditions. Because, the elders, when I was a young boy, after school we would go to the fields, and there was always this old man that would tell us to sit on mats and would tell us the legends, will transmit the knowledge. But we cannot clone these elders, but we can record them. We can make virtual reality avatars of them that enables us then to spread the knowledge in the world. And now I think we just been added to Google Translation a few weeks ago, so you can translate from Japanese to Reo Tahiti and other languages from the Pacific instantly. Of course, it's still perfectible, but it's very impressive at this stage. So this way, a Japanese kid from Kyoto or anywhere in Japan can learn about the ways we did things, or we are still doing things in our country. And that's the beauty of being able with ICT to spread the knowledge.
私どもの財団
In our foundation, we have OPRI. That institute pushes smart ocean based on ICT. That is to create new ocean values. So the state-of-the-art ICT technology and traditional knowledge and experiences, we hope will be combined. It's an exciting story to have modern technology integrated with Pacific tradition. And French Polynesia, I have an impression, will lead that effort, and that's a wonderful thing. In Tahiti, or for Tahiti, for Japan, and for the Japanese audience, is a dream island, dream heaven-like place. It's a very beautiful paradise. That's our impression. Now, what is your main industry, President? Is it tourism or fishing or other industries? Our ICT will become solid, but how the economic structure will be built in terms of the industries?
Currently, tourism is our major industry, and Japan used to be one of our key markets. We would welcome honeymooners. But the evolution of society has it that nowadays I'm told that Japanese women don't marry anymore. So we are running out of honeymooners from Japan. And we probably have to shift our target from honeymooners to elderly people who have time and money. So we will start to target the second honeymoon before getting to paradise.
いや確かにこの
You're right. Second honeymooners can enjoy paradise. Before going to the next paradise, they can experience a second paradise, which is, I think, a very important strategy. We have a lot of expectation, hope for that. But talking about Palm 10, Prime Minister Kishida will host that meeting from now. And for Japan and for Palm 10, what expectations do you have? Can you explain that?
Oh, I have so many expectations. First of all, it's one of these rare occasions where we all gather together, Pacific Islanders, and we have this opportunity to share our vision. We establish the Blue Pacific Ocean vision from the Pacific Island Forum, and we share it every time we have the opportunity. So I think we'll do it again here at the Palm 10. But it's also the opportunity for us to learn from what is being done in Japan currently and what we can learn from each other. On a more specific perspective for my country, and this is something that I will discuss with Prime Minister when I meet with him. I have two goals. You have here a formidable university, Kindai University, who is very, very well known in the world for aquaculture. And aquaculture is something that we wish to develop in a sustainable way in our country. So I wish to establish a partnership to be able to send our students to Kindai University. And the second one is to establish also the same type of partnership with the Kyoto University of Arts and Design, which produces a lot of those very famous animators in the manga world and in those studios that you have here in Japan. We have a manga culture that is very, very developed in our country among the young people. I'm probably a little too old for that, but my kids are totally crazy about manga. So we wish to be able to send also some students here to the Kyoto University of Arts and Design.
いや、それは具体的な提案。
That's a very specific proposal to be made. As for manga, actually, at OPRI, recently we wanted to promote the importance of the ocean, so created and published manga to show how important the ocean is. And I think the head of OPRI will say, we will translate that into English, I hope. But in that sense, using manga, we can promote ocean-related issues, climate, global issues to the younger generation, which I think is important. And regarding aquaculture, Kindai and other universities have been tackling the sustainable aquaculture. I hope that will spread and established and spread, and we can do some cooperation to support that, and a lot of expectation is there. Finally, I would like to ask about peace. Earlier, President talked about Hiroshima. You brought 1,000 origami crane for our ceremony, and French Polynesia, and we share the same experience of atomic bombing, and in that sense, we have a very special relationship.
You were in New York when 9/11 hit the city. Yes, back then I was a resident of New York for more than 10 years. That was shocking, devastating. And small Manhattan, the diverse community, symbolically collapsed or destroyed. And that changed my worldview totally. Peace is at the crisis. Peace is at the turning point. And quote your message, the traditional wisdom, traditional knowledge, how those ancient people tried to establish a harmony and tried to live in peace. We have to rethink in a way they were thinking, perhaps. that would lead to some message. And as a president, what would be your message to the contemporary world about peace?
Well, it brings us back to traditional knowledge. You know, in English or in French, there's one word to say who is ruling the country. In French, you say gouvernement. In English, you say government. And these terms are drawn from the Latin language, and they mean ruling the country. In Tahitian, the term that we use is hau whenua. Hau means peace. So it makes all the difference. We don't rule the land. We try to maintain it in peace.
素晴らしいメッセージだと思います。
Excellent message. Well, we are Peace Foundation of Japan, and Peace Foundation is, by the name, is very rare or few. And so people often ask me, what is your definition of peace at Sasakawa Foundation? And when that is asked, I would say the traditional knowledge, traditional world would give us the true answer, so to speak. It's not laws, it's not regulations, it's not, commonwealth. It's spontaneous harmony and it's a spontaneous balance. And that's quite rare and precious. We have to look for it. And so are you, President, and the South Ocean Islanders. You have a lot of traditional knowledge, and you would bring good messages to Japan during Palm conference, so that we would join your message transmission to the rest of the world, so that through friendly diplomacy, we would propagate the spirit of peace. So that's what I'm looking forward for Palm. And before you close, to the Japanese audience, perhaps you may solicit the second honeymooners message to Japanese people, please.
For this event, thank you for this exchange, and I look forward to more cooperation with the Sasakawa Foundation and with this beautiful country that is Japan. Maruru.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Moetai Brotherson, President of French Polynesia and President Tsunami. I'm confident that this session has brought the charm of French Polynesia to the people of Japan. This concludes the keynote speech by His Excellency Moetai Brotherson, President of French Polynesia. Thank you very much.